Welcome to another Ride Along with Goggles. And if I sound a little different today, it's because it's first thing in the morning and I realized that I recorded this video, set it up for processing overnight, and when I listened to the early version of it, it's still not in high def. On YouTube, there was no ATS audio. There was only my mic, and that's not very good. And so, yeah, I guess my PC did an update yesterday, and it reset the audio settings and for the game audio, which is it's a goofy thing that happens every time. I don't understand why or how when you save settings and use a preset in OBS, reset of the computer or whatever, Windows can reset settings you've locked into that application. I got to get to the bottom of that because it is beyond annoying. But anyway, so I'm doing an emergency video first thing Friday morning. It'll be maybe a little shorter than normal, and we're going to just get this thing done and get it in the can for you so you can have a video Friday. And we'll talk about the other video you're going to see today on the way. So you'll have seen it by now, hopefully. So we got the FLX 359 here, and it's the Lost Arroyo Ranch skin. We've got the Wilson Stockmaster from Pinga, and it's the Stockmaster is the straight floor. I think it's a great vintage look. It goes really well with this truck. And I don't know if I've done a video with this one before because I discovered a weird thing with it, and that is it takes 12 hours to load. So every time I went to load this thing, I like to start at 7 in the morning because it gives you a nice daylight run, and so, you know, for the videos in particular. And so I think I just gave up on it, thinking, well, that's goofy, I'll figure it out later. But then I had the brilliant idea, well, why not make it 7 p.m. when I load, and then it'll be 7 a.m. when I have the load on, and lo and behold, it works. So let's spark her up and get going. We'll hop inside for the startup today. Oops, there we go. Let's check our mirrors. Everything looks, it's adjusted the best we can get them, I think. Lights, brakes off, and we're good to go. So what we'll do, we're gonna hop back out here for a sec because I want to look around here, show you where we are. We're in Santa Teresa, New Mexico. Santa Teresa, I guess, I'm not sure. And there's the border wall with Mexico. We're going to head north from here. So this is the prefab from ATS or SCS rather. But the Reforma guys have added a few things like those cows down there. And there, those two, that first and second one, the tan one and the black one, they're right in the way when you want to back around that silo. I find if you get that load with the Reforma map here, just back in there a bit and then come back up this way and get yourself over to the left as we're looking at it and angle towards that silo when you go around it. You'll end up with the truck over enough
Turn left
that you don't have to risk hitting those cows. I don't think anything happens if you did. I think they just maybe they're a non-collision object or something.
100 yards, turn right.
But
Turn right.
and when you come in here, here's another tip for this site. When you come in, swing way wide to the right here and get out onto that gravel over there before you try and get around this little hut, because you got a really narrow gate and it's close to the hut. If you don't swing way over there, even catch some of that grass there, you'll be doing a do-si-do to try and get through that gate. Found that out the first time I came in there. So I did something else on this 359 this time too. I put the square headlights on it. Actually, I think that looks a lot better than the single round ones. It helps offset that broad grille. Oop, come on, grab the gear. There we go. Interesting thing on that big nose on the 359 in that big hood is that
100 yards, turn right.
the 359 was the first of the conventional trucks to use that huge radiator that these things have,
Turn right.
and allowed them to put really big engines for the day, like what was considered a big engine at the time, in this truck, and have adequate cooling. So that's why you'll see how much wider this grille is than anything of the period, like a Kenworth or a White or a Freightliner. They all had much narrower grills at the time. And this carried through in the 379 and the 389. So there's a little 359 history for you. But I think the square headlights, actually, when I look at it, they actually complement the broad grill better, because when I always like those little singles because they're kind of hot roddy looking,
Go straight.
Oh, it's a red light. Yikes. Oh, emergency stop. Yikes. Oh. Oh my word. I only have one coffee. I haven't even had breakfast. There's my excuse. That guy's staying back there. Yeah, it's a heavy load of cows too. 66,000 pounds of bovine beauty in there. See, it's a double decker, and you can do a spread axle on it too. But I just think for the sake of going with an old-timey look, the tandems at the back kind of look more fitting. So this is all Reforma's work down here. It will be for a little while. We'll figure out when we get out of here. I'll let you know. We got to go through essentially El Paso, or on the edge of El Paso is, well, I guess they call it El Paso. Reforma does. Oh. So up here we're gonna have another light.
Go straight.
So up here we're gonna have to turn left eventually, go into the freeway. Now if you're using the Reforma map, you can get loads out of El Paso. I think there's a Lennar, which is, I can't remember what they call it, the actual
Keep left.
Lennar. Let me think.
50 yards, turn right.
Oh shoot, we gotta go right first, and then we get to go under the bridge. That's right.
Keep left. After 50 yards, go straight.
Yeah, so now we're down into
Go straight.
what they interpret as El Paso. So what happens here is, yeah, there's I have the nameplate mod on, and it's called Lennar, and it's that one that's a steel skeleton of a steel building going up, and I forget what that is. And oh, what's going on? We got stuff growing on the road here. But anyway, we'll see it. It's off a service road up here, and then if you're coming to it from the north, to this site, you're going to be coming down on this side of that freeway right there. Oh, what the heck? There's something on the road. There was a collision there. So you'd come down here on the left here where it says do not enter. And turn left here under the bridge.
Keep left. After 50 yards, turn
So you
left.
come from there, turn left here. So a couple lefts. Oh, that's bad. I can't see that vehicle in front of me. That's where my brother John would be giving me the gears. He almost got run over once like that. You know, when he was driving, but he was in his Austin Mini Cooper. Actually, that one was a Cooper S. So if you stay right here, you go up the service road,
After 50
and there's a couple
yards,
jobs
exit
up there on the
left.
right.
Exit left ahead.
We'll point them out. Lennar and Walmart. I'll tell you about the Mini thing in a minute. Yeah, see that steel frame building up there? You drive up this little side street here. There's a Walmart there too. Oh, wandering all over. Yeah, so John was he was in the city with his little Mini Cooper S. That was how many he have? He had two Cooper S's during the years, and he had a Cooper and a stock Mini, all at different times. And he set a light with his little Cooper S. And
Right. After 50 yards, turn right.
a semi pulls up behind him at the light, and the guy pulled right up on him. And it's one of those long lights or whatever. And John, I can't remember what happened to the car. The ignition just, Prince of Darkness, Lucas ignition went out on him, and he immediately he knew that, like, that truck was so close to him that there's no way he knew he was even there if he forgot. And the light was just about to turn green, and John jumped out of the cab and put his hands up in the air so the guy'd see him and not roll forward. And the guy kind of did that thing where he put his hand across his eyebrow and went like that to say, yeah, man, good call. I was going to go. He had to push the poor little Mini out of the intersection. I can't remember what it turned out to be.
Right. After 50 yards, turn right.
Something really crazy, like, that doesn't happen. Like, the rotor cracked
Turn
in the
right.
distributor and came apart.
Keep right.
Yeah, those little Minis were fun, and of course I drove all of them that he had. The Cooper S's were a blast, but my favorite was the Cooper. The Cooper was his first one. It wasn't an original Cooper. It was an 850 Countryman, or whatever they called him, the little wagon. And yeah, it was neat. He set the seats back on it. You can redo the mounts, move them. There's a box section across the floor. You can move the seat back by taking the tabs off the front of that box section, move them back, that the seats pivot on as they flip up. You take that mount, move it back, and then you put some drop straps on the column, drop the steering column down a little bit. So if you're a little longer, you can get in there, you're set back a bit, and you got the column down correspondingly. And it's a lot better driving position for us tall guys. Well, John's not that tall, but not as tall as I am, but they sure made it fun to drive. And yeah, you put the Cooper disc brakes on the front, and a 998 that he rebuilt himself, and you know, obviously the twin SUs. That was a little buzzer. It went pretty good. A little Pirelli Centurato This is a long time ago. That was a little hot tire to have on them. And yeah, it was a hoot. Fun car. I handled like it was a go-kart. And what we used to do in the winter is going to sound stupid, but well, of course it is. We were young. Is we grew up in the snow belt, and in the winter, in the spring, the winter, like the snowbanks are still there, and they're getting hard because there's the warm, cold, like day-night cycle, and they get really hard ice. And we'd take the Mini and run it up hit the snowbank, run up, and then see how far we can go on two wheels, like those stunt drivers do. Yeah. But fun car. I liked it.
Keep
Oh,
right.
oh, I gotta turn right up there. Darn. Oh, that guy's turning. Oh, that's good. Maybe no, that guy isn't. The Cooper S's were fun. Like they had a lot more acceleration, but with the Cooper, it had just the right amount of power that because it's front-wheel drive. With the tires we had at the time, or ever had on either of us Cooper S's, they weren't super good, and you could with the little Cooper, you could accelerate and do anything you wanted in a corner with the power, and you didn't have so much power that you would upset it would understeer all of a sudden off the corner you're trying to take, because when you apply the power with front wheel drive, if you got a lot of it, it's going to affect your cornering.
After 100
So
yards, turn left.
it's definitely a momentum car, but it had a lot more zip than a stock Mini. So it was a lot of fun. Good times. I didn't take the beacons off this truck for the cattle haul, I just noticed. Saw some posts from Recon on Discord, and he just discovered these Ratro 24.5s and put them on his truck. He was pretty enthused. I like them. I think they look pretty stylish. And like I've said in other videos, what I like best about them is they look clean. They're not all. They don't have the Smarties thing where their wheels and tires got some kind of blemish or dirt on them to make them look like they're going around. I don't know if that's the purpose of that, but I find it really annoying. Oh, we better check the map. Oh, we're going straight. Okay.
Go straight.
Last time I was on this trip, I went to Clovis and I had to go left there. This is the nicer drive, I think, to Artesia. It's funny how the AI knows that you're going to lose your lane and they'll hang back. I wish they were always that polite. Wow, that was a long discussion on minis. Oh, there's a lot more stories with them too, because like I say, him having 4 of them, we got lots of stories to tell about them, that's for sure. So I were disappointed in that new Mini when that thing came out after so much experience with the original. But it's like any of these retro cars they put out. You can't repeat the past. Like the new Challenger, that may be a nice car and everything else, but it's nothing like the originals. It doesn't have the crisp body line. It's kind of all just sort of rounded over a little bit, and of course there's all the computer wizardry and safety stuff and everything that just takes away from the raw car. Yeah. I had a girlfriend once had a Challenger RT. No, it wasn't an RT. But man, that was fun to work on because it was like any of the cars of the day. You want to change a head gasket or whatever, piece of cake, a couple hours. Like, I can't remember in that small block Mopar if had to pull the distributor to take the intake off. I forget. I think you did. But anyway, it's all a piece of cake, If it was the distributor coming out like a small block Chevy or whatever, you yank the distributor, pull the intake, grab the head off, throw it back on, set the valve lash, throw the intake on, distributor back in, exhaust header, of course. But you can get at it all, is the thing. You can reach things. The only thing, I remember the one tricky thing is the header on that. I should have thought of that. It's got that split header that one leg of it goes around the steering column. Yeah, that was the one trick with that job. Anyway, here we are on a little scenic windy bit of this trip. I'm supposed to be going 35 here, guys. Oops. What was the other thing I want to talk about that Texas video earlier. So I recorded it yesterday as well after that system reset on my PC that took the audio out. So we've got no engine sound on that one. But I figure, I can't redo 2 videos and get them out to you in a reasonable time, so that one's going to go out. Will have gone out with no audio of the truck. So, but it's all about seeing. We don't have a trailer on, we're just driving around, so it's a vehicle to move us around the map and see the new terrain and textures that will be Texas. So it's not the end of the world. But there's no way I could do a haul with, like, driving along here with no engine sound would just be weird. But yeah, really digging this truck. I'll get to a straight bit and hop out again. I want to, and I've always thought it, and somebody pointed it out in one of their comments in a video, how they like the way the exhaust stacks look on this truck, and I'll show you why as we get through this bit here. There's some nice little drives. You got to find them though down in New Mexico in this corner. And as this is SCS here, of course, we're well out of the influence of Reforma here. So I think the textures in Texas and stuff just look, it's going to be so good. And what we were seeing in the little tour of the map, how far we could go into Texas was early days. I mean, they're still going to, they're just building the infrastructure to link the map up with the the existing DLC. Did link Texas up with the existing DLC, so what's coming is going to be fantastic. And just the introduction of all those new textures, like the new dirt road, and what we were seeing in the field, like when we look out and we see a field like this, it just looked different. It looked like they introduced a few different kinds of vegetation. The fences were different. So we had a new fence finally after all this time. So some pretty cool stuff. So see these stacks, they're blackened around the tips and black inside. Now that's exactly the way, whether your truck runs clean, like you notice your new vehicles, they don't put out any exhaust, but the tips are black. Unlike the old day when we used to run leaded fuels. The leaded fuels, your exhaust on gasoline engines were gray. But now it doesn't matter what it is. It's the trucks run really clean, but they still have everything's still got a blackened tip, and that's awesome. Like that looks the way it should look. It's really good. Look at that far one on the far side there. I better pull in here and see what we're doing. Oh yeah, okay. I know where we're going.
Go straight.
What do we got over there? Oh, the oil derrick. Just the bottom of one. Looks like a service rig derrick or something. Well, not a service rig, because that would be on a truck. It's not like your average or derrick I'm used to when I was worked on the rigs. That's a little different. Must be commemorating some special hole or discovery or something. But yeah, that, oh man, I just can't wait for Texas. That's going to be good. I guess it's a subject on the forums too. You see the constant debate. You got fellas that predict it's going to happen on this date. You got fellas say nobody knows for sure, stop talking about it. And people wish and all this stuff. And then you got your, oh, Debbie down. Oh, is he going to hit us?
Yep. Right.
Wow.
After 50 yards, turn right.
That's why I have
Right.
damage or fines turned off. I hate that. Look at the back of the trailer.
After 100 yards, turn left. Turn left.
It's such a good looking truck. I can for me, this is my aesthetic. This is what I like. The old stuff.
After 100 yards, turn right.
I still gotta get my RTA 359 up and running again. I updated it. I'll have to try that and do a comparison. I won't do a side-by-side comparison. That's been done. I just drive it, see what we think of it.
Keep left. After 50 yards, turn left. Turn left.
So I looked up the Mac cruise liner last night after hearing from Corey at ATS Custom Classics that that was going to be their next truck in a couple weeks. So it's kind of a neat looking old cab over too. It's not like the later ones with the square or dual lights. It's just got single round lights on it, which kind of has that classic look. Sure like to get my hands on that FLB mod of Harvin's FLB stretched. That was the whole reason, I'll be honest with you, that I downloaded Blender. I want to figure out, so I know how to put the truck into Blender, but I don't have a clue what I'm doing in Blender. Better have a look here. We're going to the right there. Oh yeah, there it is. Right on our right. But anyway,
After 100 yards, turn right.
yeah. A little different doing the video first thing in the morning, and apologize for my wobbly voice, but it'll come around in an hour or so. Get some breakfast in me, and another coffee, I'll be right as rain. Hopefully I can get this thing. What I'll do,
You have reached your destination.
I'll put this one out, I'll still have it set to go to 1440, but I'll put it out when it's at 1080. So, it's got reasonably good quality, but it'll be up hours ahead of when it would, because it takes those final few hours to get 1440. The processing from YouTube takes a long time just to get, it's hours and hours to go from 1080 to 1440 when you're, just a nobody like me. The guys who get a lot of subscribers and views and stuff, theirs gets processed pretty quick in comparison. But that's all right. Oh man, I'll have to come way up here and get our turn started. Don't want to get the truck off the bridge here, so I had to come way up ahead so we got more time to get it over where we want it. So we got to do one of these here. There we go. Just kind of keep it on the island here, as the Brits would say. I like that saying. Referring to when somebody's driving crazy or whatever, they'd say, hey, try and keep it on the island. Which means don't wipe it out, but you're going so fast you're liable to throw it right off their island. That's hilarious. That's such a great saying. Now we're way over here. Oh well, we'll take it. Gotta get this video processing right away here. Then I can have breakfast. Alright, there we are.
From Toronto.
Oh, sorry. Oops. Yikes. I actually accidentally hit my radio button. Sorry about that. Probably going to get in trouble from YouTube now. What are we doing? Shut the engine off. Lights, engine. There we go. Welcome to your new home, girls. Man, look at what this thing pays. Is that ridiculous or what? $259,000. And I did one with this trailer. The trip wasn't that much longer. It was just under 500,000. And it was only like 300 miles. So I don't know if Pinga is throwing everybody a bone. Like, you use this version of the trailer and you get this huge payday. And if that's so, guys, it's a free trailer. I'll put a link in the description and get it. And if you need to make money in a hurry to buy another garage or some trucks or whatever you're after, you can use this trailer. So bear in mind, like when you're, oh yeah, it's night now. So when you're setting it up, just get there's two trailer options, and this is the one you want. It's the Stockmaster. It just pays crazy money. So if you're looking to earn some money with actually driving instead of doing a money cheat, there's your trailer. Anyway, really appreciate you guys following along and the subscriptions, everything, the likes, the conversation, the comments. It's just terrific, and I couldn't be more thankful. Appreciate it, guys. Take care, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.